New ultimate Handpose tutorial. Gonna go everything from C-clamp to underhand to magazine to handguns and rifle. Trigger grips. So if you don't already have it, get Handpose visualizer right here. And that should be in Lava Gang. But we're gonna go over magazine handposes first. Just drag it here, drag it into the grip box, or just wherever your target is mainly. You just need to get it lined up right here. Of course, the pivot will be super high. We can always just do this. So we're gonna align it basically with our base grip using Glock Mag palmed. Just gonna duplicate this. Call it custom rifle magazine. And let's see where you go. There it is. Okay. So we want it generally lined up here. And it's alright if it's not perfect. We can always just tweak it in game. It's about good. Just ignore this. Okay, so we have the base, basically set up. Oh, you can see here that this is a little misaligned. I'd say it's about fine. So we can see a lot of issues. Obviously, this is meant for pistols, like the Eater. That's perfectly fine. We're just gonna go here, click on the hand pose, and go to debug mode. And, oh, oops, I forgot to enable something. Now you can see my keys. Just to make things more understandable, I'm just gonna shift select all this, delete it. Okay. Now we're just gonna move this here. We find it's whoops. So typically what I'm aiming for is a grip that, you know, you hold it like a magazine. So just imagine the way you would hold a magazine. And, you know, it could come to life. Alright, so typically a good rule of thumb is to make all the fingers align and stay attached. Just in general, it's a general tip here. So we're gonna make the middle finger follow here a bit. Also gonna make index follow. Same with the pinky. You can always just keep adjusting this right here. So typically now it's fitting better around the mag. That's what we want. Okay, let's say this guy's fine. Let's move this guy more in. And the main thing is just to keep tweaking it until you get it right. Make sure there's no sort of clipping going on here. Just make it look natural. We're kind of just like, I guess, blocking it out right now. That's what you want to call it. The thumb is generally okay most of the time, but right here we kind of just want it pressed up against the mag. It's fine if it's clipping a little bit, it won't kill you if it clips. And pinky here, we want to keep the same general direction, but you gotta remember, in real life you don't have much control over the angle of your pinky that much. So we just gotta let it naturally flow and let it naturally follow. So a little bit like this. And you can see here that this finger sticks out more. I don't like that usually. So I'm gonna Whoops. Gonna adjust this guy to gain a little more flow into here. Actually, should probably make the other fingers line up with it. Or typically, so they're all kind of sticking out in a row. See what I mean? See the idea kind of going for. So I guess we could call it this this basic blockout. We have the general idea and the general placements. Now we're just gonna add some fun touches to it. We're just gonna make it work. I mean, so and just keep adjusting the fingers. It's fine if it clips. Not everything's perfect. It don't really matter. But me, I'm gonna keep adjusting the angle of these fingers more. It's fine if it looks weird. Everything's perfect at first. We just need the general idea out there. So we have that. I might collapse though. Collapse this more. No. Let's reverse that. I think what we had before was fine. Yeah, it's more natural. Let's bring this out here. You see with this, it's controlling this joint. So this moves it back, and let's stick this guy. So let's sort of straighten this guy out here. Let's plant him back in like right here. And then we can let the finger settle a bit. You tend to want the pinky to kind of rest on top of the magazine like that. And yeah, generally like that. And then it's bent a little too much. Okay. You want a natural bend, you don't want something crazy. Alright, can straighten this guy out here a little more. Here. And then so we're not worried, don't want to have much leeway here then, as I thought. And okay, let's bring this guy. You know, this might be fine for now. This can always be tweaked, but you get the general idea here. What I'm going for. It's this pinky. It's this damn pinky. Let's say this is about good. Yeah, there we go. Now, what's to do with this thumb? Let's see if you were to hold a magazine. Generally, this is gonna be pressed more up. I don't think your thumb is gonna be so bent. So generally, like kind of like this, and let's try and keep this pressed up. Not too much. So what we had before was fine. You don't really need to adjust the Z. Actually, you can press this guy up a little more. Keep the Y how it was. Oops. Just generally something like this. It's just like a starter for a rifle mag. Now we can see that right here. Alright, I guess I'm gonna work with here. This is your general Handpose here. And this is about how it would feel good in a VR game. So, don't worry too much about realism. Not everything has to be super realistic, you feel me? Alright, that covers rifle. Let's head over, just rifle mag. Let's head over to the actual rifle. Here we're on the rifle section. Again, I got my Handpose visualizer kind of lined up on the superior eye. Just gonna go here, same thing. I did this as an example. Just gonna dupe it. Rifle example. And we're gonna do the same thing. Inspector, debug. I'm just gonna delete all these elements. And then I'm gonna put it on the Handpose visualizer right here. And go back into debug. So we can see that generally these fingers are pretty spaced from the grip itself. And again, we want to keep the fingers close together because, you know, how else are you gonna grip a rifle? Like, for real, grip it. The mistake that I've seen others make have done something like this. Don't do that. Do you do this? I don't see anyone holding a rifle do this. Please. You want to keep your thumb rested. Doesn't matter if it's really even clipping in the slightest. Please get over your OCD if you do have that problem. I beg you. So, index is right here. We're just going to kind of focus on the middle right here. We're just going to want to close the distance on the grip right here. It's plenty enough. And we're just gonna keep kind of adjusting it here until we get a basic pose of kind of what we want. And we want the fingers to be close. And what I'm gonna do is I'm kind of gonna tilt these up a little bit, just to match the flow. You can see here now a bit that move these kind of closer. Whoops. See here, this looks a little better. You know, you can obviously see that you're gripping it a bit better. Index, kind of want to close it in on the trigger. You can see that here there's just a big gap here. We can just kind of shape this out a little bit. So we're gonna move forward. Move this forward on the Z. Don't worry about the Y later. Personally, I would treat the Y like it's in the middle, right here. Like that. And then I'm gonna tilt this up so it's kind of like it's pointing at someone. And I'm gonna do this. You can see, you got your pose. See how well it's doing here? You just keep adjusting the thumb. Right here. And then we kind of just want to shape this out a little bit more. Adjusting the X over and over and over again. Like it's clockwork. See what we achieved here? There's not much space here. That's fine. That's actually kind of good. It's not clipping too much. That's fine. These fingers are closely gripped. It does a good job showing about like a real hand gripping something. You can see how this looks way more natural, and the distance is really just closed on everything here, and it looks much more natural. It's flowing much more better here. See how it looks from the back. The fingers are tilting weird, and they all look straight and ready. That's it for the rifle. Let's move on to C-clamp. So we are on to C-clamp. For this one, I'm using this carbine. Now we can't make it entirely C-clamp around it, so I'm gonna do a little work around here. Turn this on. I forget what axis that is. I guess C, the axis. And we kind of want it to cradle it a little bit. And it's fine, there will be some clipping, but who's really gonna care? Okay. And peek or Handpose visualizer. Just gonna do the script. You will have a different prefab because I can't provide them. And so this is completely different. One you'll have is not the same. I'll be showing two different types, the cradle clamp and the actual C clamp on a different gun. So you have that. We're gonna real quick just put this on here. And we really just kind of there'd be no space, like I've said before many times. And we can angle it as many times as we need. Just really don't. We really want to keep that space enclosed here. Alright, so we got start here. I'm gonna do the rest of the job. Yeah, the rest here. And we're gonna do. Oh. What we're gonna do here is just start filing it. Get into debug, get your Handpose, and then we'll go from here. So. Now, let's cut to it. So, we want this thumb to kind of be bent here a little bit, because you don't want everything perfectly laid out, because then it's gonna look boring and it's gonna suck. So the idea is to leave slight imperfections in your work, just to make it a little more interesting. Because you never see art and, you know, you see it's like it's completely perfect, you know what I mean? And we really just want the fingers to kind of also cradle it. We don't want it to wrap. That's the difference here. Pinky is mainly fine. I'll just rotate it. And then just the Z. Same with the middle finger here. Just kind of cradle it. And that's the index, or ring finger. Oh my goodness, I'm all over the place. And let's see. Kind of just keep on cradling it. And it won't be entirely perfect. We really just want a basic block out. And then kind of just adjust the Z here. Now we have a little bit of a basic block out. And if we need to, we can just kind of keep adjusting this. It just takes a lot of time, really. Kind of get things the way you want them to be. Not everything is overnight. So, that's how we're gonna roll with it. And, yeah, this doesn't seem too bad for a start. Kind of just keep going here, the index finger. Whoops, forgot to enable my keys. And, alright. So we're at a position I'm semi-happy with. I'm gonna keep adjusting these values personally. So you keep cradling the rifle. I kinda wanna mess with the thumb more here. And bring this down here. I do want to see this clipping way less. Of course, I can't get what I always want. That's the goal. There's still a large gap there, and I'm not happy with it. So, okay, yeah, that's better. We got some proper rotation there. Of course, this still looks a bit off. And just keep kind of adjusting it as much as we need to, a little bit. And let's keep that thumb straight on the x-axis right here. Now we can straighten this out here. bit of a long, grueling process. Whoa, what's it doing there? Alright, and we don't want this part kind of raised too much. We want it to kind of like bend naturally, I guess. It's the best way to put it. This is just what I've learned personally in Blender. So always keep messing with these axes here until you get a product that you can be happy with. You still want it to look like it's gripping, but you know, you don't want it to fumble too much. I think we can reverse back to the Stone Age here a bit. Before, oh my god. Before we made all those mistakes. Okay, let's go back here then. If you don't need to control Z, that's fine. Just leave it be. You don't have to go word for word, band for band on my tutorial. Just get something you're happy with. And that's basically it. We can't avoid that. Unless maybe we do something a little fancy. Still as cheap as ever. No. Without full body joints here on this, like metacarpals and stuff, not much we can really do here. I'd kill for metacarpals in this. The amount of hand poses that anyone could make would be sick. Looks so weird. Let's kind of put this guy back right here. So, this guy. We gotta follow along here. Still want something like that. Not too much. Kind of want the fingers also pressing against it. Yeah, like that. And let's see here. Opium. Might be a bit unnatural. I think the problem is that damn ring finger. Yeah, it is. Okay. Why do you think you gotta be different? Wait. No, okay, that is horribly worded. Jesus. Okay. I just really want a basic block out. Just basic block out for now. This guy, see how the curves are kind of unnatural here? We really just want him to keep it natural. This thumb, jeez, I wish I had more thumb options, honestly. There we go, might be more fit. So you still have a slight bend at the thumb here, but it's more of a better position. There we go. And these fingers are still putting in the work. They're still cradling it. Always trust the process. Even when no one believes in you, you gotta trust the process. And if still no one believes in you, then you're probably doing something wrong. And you just don't want to see it. Life lessons from me. Okay. It seems like this guy's getting along just fine here. Okay. Now we've got the basic idea here. You really just gotta envision, I guess, how it would look in the game. And yeah, if you're happy with your foreseeing to the future, I think you're good. Keep this closer to the ring. Yeah, it's looking better. Yeah. Look at that. Let's take away this. You can see that it's, looking a bit more natural here. It's fingertips, they're not looking too bad. Not bending too naturally, so it keeps that nice natural curve that you would have on a pinky here. It's not bending too much at the joint here. And the wrist isn't looking weird. Do you know what I mean? It's a nice straight swing. Whoops. And if we look here, it looks just fine. My God, just don't mind clipping. We can't really fix that. We have more bones. Just saying. We could do a little more. Okay. That's it for this sort of handguard. I guess it's what you would call it. This handguard. We're gonna move to a railed handguard, so something a little more different. I'll meet you there. Now we are onto the web part. Same as usual. I start with a new prefab. I'm just gonna do this. And place it right here. Once you have placed it on here, we're just gonna keep fixating it to the rails and make it a real C-clamp here. Your base pose should look something similar to this. It's fine. Everything works. Make sure you're in debug mode, and let's get to it. I'm just gonna start by simply making this grip an actual C-clamp and making it wrap around the grip. Say level it is now. These fingers are ideally okay. They want to kind of be like this. You can see how they're all aligned at around the same angle, if not just a little more different. This finger is clipping a bit, so we can just move this down, change the Y. Not move it down, just change the Z. Or actually could just do this. And then fiddle with this. And change it to be like that. So now it looks like this. It's slightly clipping, but no one really cares. Alright. Now we have it like that. We can see that it's kind of gripping around here. And I only have it really up here, so this doesn't interfere with this. This is just an example gun. And you don't want to tweak the thumb too much. This is ideally how I would have it if I don't want it to actually C-clamp. I just want it resting on the rail. But if you do want it to C-clamp, do this. It's all in the x-axis. Make sure you always, ideally have this thumb bent unnaturally. It just gives it that look. Now you have this. So if we take away this, we can see the base pose here. Wrist is fine. It's not curved in any weird way. And we see here, these thumbs are perfectly fine. Thumbs, oof. I'm tired. These fingers are all bent just fine. The fingertips go in the same direction, and they're not really, unbalanced. Except for, the middle finger. I think we can change that, though. We just go to here. And, oh, wait, no, it's fine. It's like that for a reason. We can always tweak it. I kind of want it to be closer to these fingers. I also want to change the Y a bit. Very, very micro changes here. Kind of want this to curve in a bit more. And we see here, we really got a good wrap around here. There's not many gaps, and this looks pretty damn natural. Alright. Now we have it. Very simple. It doesn't stray too far away from what we originally had. Just remember, you can always mess with all these different values and rotations of your grips. It doesn't really matter, you know, you can always still get done here. Now, so we got underbarrel. Alright, I'll see you at underbarrel. We're on the underhand. This is what I got here. This is what I used on the SPR. I'm just gonna real quick duplicate this and just call it same thing. And if it okay, it doesn't want to rename. Oh, that's cool. It has its rights. Again, inspector, and see here, we don't necessarily want the finger curling on this because there's no flat surface. It's sort of a curved surface. Flat surfaces, you ideally want the fingertips curving on top of it, like that. Let's straighten out that thumb so it's a carbine. We're gonna wanna. So we kind of want this to be curved in. We also want this kind of out right here. What I'm gonna do is kind of just match it. And kind of be like that. Alright, so thumb ideally should go up. Yeah. And okay, let's take a look at these index fingers here. Gonna say the Y and Y, X, and Z up here are fine, mainly. Kind of just can't have these bending down like this because it creates this unnatural gap. So I'm gonna keep fiddling with this. I'm gonna curve this a bit. And we're just gonna get the general lockout here. Same with these index fingers. Index fingers. Good lord. Just these fingers in general. Okay. Can you start bending this more down? Like that. And then can move this more up. Just keep adjusting it until it looks good enough for now. See, now we don't want the fingers unnaturally touching too much. We kind of want the same fingertip curve, ideally. So, you know, similar fingertip curve. And let's see here. So I can bend here, move this more up. I'm gonna shift the pinky over like this and keep adjusting it. Actually, no, I think it's fine. I just need to bring it closer. Actually, I want to make this more straightened out. And then I'm gonna bring this closer. I can kind of keep these more so collected on each other. If you don't want it to be angled like this, you can always just adjust the Z. Or not, sorry, Z. You can always just adjust the X. I think I'm gonna keep it like this. So this is like just got a good bend, so it won't look weird. Now let's keep adjusting this pinky here, and let's do this here. yeah, like this. So let's take away the carbine. Here's what it looks like. It's more natural, a little more natural. And you know what? Because why not? Gonna switch these two. Boom. There we go. And we can just keep on adjusting. Oh yeah, right. Can't be named. Okay. And okay. Now there we go. It's a little more straightened out here. Cause you know you can't ever have anything straight in BONELAB. Bad joke. All right. Let's see. This I think this is perfectly fine. You know, the fingertips are kind of listing on here. Keep just in these little. Just get that natural feel. And if you really, really don't like the position it's in, you despise it, just rotate on the Z, and oh, whoops, just back there, and keep adjusting. Move this down, this out, pop this out. I think we really got something down here. You know what I mean? I think we're mainly chilling, so that's how we look in the game. I think it looks really good. Of course, you'll probably need to align more in game, maybe if it's misaligned. I'd say it's like perfectly fine though. Oh, whoops, wrong thing. Alright. Not the way I had it, it's just fine. Yeah, this looks fine. There is underhand on this. I think it looks really good. Came from a good, strong base. And of course, it will take you probably a lot more time than me. I've been doing this for a year. Don't expect to kind of be like me in 5 minutes. But it's cool now. I'm going to lay out some pretty basic rules of thumb here. I'm going to make this clear in this video. With grips like these, on a curved cylindrical surface, oh my goodness, surface, tend to have the fingers more bent in than kind of bent out. On a flat surface, you're going to be putting pressure on your fingertips. That's what's gonna cause it to kind of take on this shape here. And you see that with your fingertips in real life as well. See what I mean? And like here, they should take on about the same Y rotation. And they should be more so grouped together as much as they can. Things are clipping. Don't worry about it too much. You can always fix it if it's like really bad. You know, if it's like this, you can't help that. You know, it's fine. Because we don't have metacarpals. This isn't a full IK. But sheesh, what else? That's really it. There's not many rules of thumbs. You know what I mean? Just to make it look good. Oh yeah, another one. If you're having trouble of trying to visualize what it looks like, I would just like look down the iron sight. This, because then you'll know what it looks like. If you go down here, you can kind of see what it would look like right here. So yeah, it's not bad. Maybe you want to raise the thumb. That's fine too. Look at that. See, looks good. And like I said, flat surfaces. Ideally, this is what your grip should look like if it's on a flat surface. Except thumb's bad. Thumb's kind of bad. Oh, whoops. Thumb. Oh crap. What am I doing? Thumb is kind of horrid a bit. There we go, like that. And we see that the fingertips here kind of go in a line right here. So low, medium, high, a little bit lower. And we see that the more they press against the surface, the more indented they get. This right here is cradling just the base. This right here is kind of getting up on the grip. And they're staying grouped together, like around the knuckles here. Except for the pinky a little bit, but that's more pushback, so whatever. They're all really grouped together. And the main important part is to really show that you're gripping something and not just kind of cradling it like a weak little dude. Little dude. So I guess my thumb is really raised. Oh my goodness, what have I done on the SPR? I made that as like that was my filler gun, dude. There we go. Yeah, like that. See. So it would look like on a flat surface. Actually, I think what we could do here is just oh, it's 0-0. Lucky me. We can kind of see right here. It's like something. No? Maybe the barrel is a little, the handguard, sorry, it's a little smaller, a little more thin, but it works. So, for example, we're on to the next section now. This is for the rails. I'll give away my SPR handpose for this. I'll give away all the handposes I made. Then kind of just drags up, drag all the Z's up. I tell they're kind of like hitting the surface right there. See, it looks a little wonky right now, but I think we can expect that. So this thumb right here, it's not looking so hot. Personally, I'm just gonna kind of press this guy up against the rail, like that, just for some cool added detail. Kind of see here, it's looking somewhat good, you know. Honestly, I think Y and Z are about the same on the thumb. Oh no, they're not. This goes, it's like a chess piece. It just goes diagonal up. This just goes up. Interessant. Oh my god, I butchered that. Interesting. And just kind of angle these, get them right. Alright. I'm gonna keep messing with the Z on this. Until I've gotten what I wanted. I'm gonna keep these guys grouped. I've been talking for a while now. Keep these guys grouped together like this, and this index is kind of built up right here, so it's kind of clipping through there. I think this is the best we could get on this. Okay. There we go. Now it's looking good, right? We'll clip the thumb, but who cares? No one cares. Atlas 96, I don't want to hear that you care, okay? I saw what you did that one night with that M16 Handpose. I'll never forgive you. I had nightmares when I went to bed. Alright, that's about it for the scar. See here on the smaller surface, you know, it's more clamped in, and it's more aimed in, you know. Bigger surfaces are going to be harder to grab, so the fingers will be a little bit more loose, and it won't be gripping so much right here. Kind of see here, they're all grouped together, and they're all kind of in a row. And they're all pressed up. We can see how they're pressed up here. Let's turn back on the scar, and we can kind of see what we're working with here. So if you were holding it like this, you could see that looks pretty good. Not too much clipping, but it's still touching the gun. Alright, I think that that concludes a lot for at least the underbarrel and the C-clamps and non-C-clamps. Now, let's move on to bristles, shall we? Okay, so same thing. Drag and drop our hand pose onto here. I'm just gonna throw this out. I'm gonna line it and just get to a point where I can be happy that I think it's matched with my original block hand pose. It's up here. And okay. Okay. This seems relatively matched up. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. Call it block custom, same thing. Change your inspector mode to debug. Delete every element except for element 0. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna model it to the gun. So I kind of want to mess with this thumbs. Oops, I forgot to block custom. Forgot to model to this. Model it or visualize it. Something like that. Honestly, I think this thumb is like relatively fine. They do a lot. SLC gotta give him some more credit every now and then. I'm just gonna get these guys to a relative position I want to be on the Z. Close the gap, break the gate, and I'm gonna angle these guys once more, just like M16. You know what I mean? I'm gonna close them in, and get to a point where we can see the fingers are more put together because they're gripping. You know, it's natural. And then get to a point where we like it. Pinky, I don't have to change much. Okay. Now we look like we're gripping, right? Is you gripping? And yeah, we're at a relatively good position here. Relatively. I'm saying that a lot. I'm gonna angle this more. No, actually, it's fine. Yeah, just right here. Okay, and then finger right here. We can always make it better. So we can see it's actually at a good position right now. For now. And once we've curved all that in, even out the Y, bring down the X, then the Z. So you can kind of see. Whoops. Oh, not whoops. Actually, I didn't need to focus. We can kind of see here with this. It's kind of curving down here. Might change it up a bit. I'm gonna move this down, curve this more up. There we go. Looking a bit better now. And we can kind of see that it actually looks like it's pressing down the trigger. I'm gonna move this a bit more back. And cross this a bit more. Okay, there we go. Now it looks like it's actually doing something. And now this looks like a real grip. More so if you want some leeway to pray. Oh my goodness. If you want some more space to like place it in another second hand grip right here, leave this gap between the thumb and the middle finger. But I'm gonna keep it at a relative position where I can make it even for both. So right here, fingers grouped, they have a relative matching rotation. The finger looks like it's actually pressing down on the trigger. It's not straying too far from its hand. You can see here that this looks like a normal natural grip here. The wrist is looking good. And it's not curving out a weird. Okay. There we go. It's just curving down now, which is better than curving up. Rather curve down than up. You can always get a good match though. Okay. Okay, this looks a bit better now. Alright, this is what we got here. What are we thinking? Well, you know what? I'll tell you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this looks pretty darn good. Looks like it's actually gripping the gun. And I don't recommend that you make a new grip for every gun. I mean, Jesus, the amount of behaviors are going to be insane when it gets ripped, or if it gets ripped. So, off topic there. You really want to open this grip more up, specifically through the twos right here. And, yeah, it'll relatively match to, oh my goodness, what am I doing, dude? It'll look similar. It'll fit, it'll work. This looks just fine right here, too. Alright. But, yeah, just for the sake of this, I'm gonna keep it enclosed. This looks pretty darn good. That's pistols. You think I'm gonna do pistol magazines? Well, you're right, because I'm gonna also do that. I'll see you there. Okay, this one is the tougher one, if I'm being completely honest here. I still haven't really gotten it down, you know what I mean? Let me keep adjusting it, so I gotta get it to look like that. Boom, boom. Drop it down here. Some rotation on this. And honestly, I think it's the best I'm gonna get it for now. I'm gonna dupe this, and I'm just gonna call it Handpose _ custom A, something like that. Some little robotic, something like. I'm gonna find it again. If I lose it. Same thing. Debug mode. Erase every element out of existence. Okay. I guess our goal here kind of be like shift this over. That's the target. Shift this guy over a bit. Actually, we want to line up. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna rotate this a little more, so it looks like this. A little bit, yeah. And here, I'm gonna change the rotation to like 555, something like that. And I'm gonna rotate this thumb like this. And I'm gonna try and keep this shit pressed against it. Right. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna press the thumb right back against it. And I can't necessarily shift this kind of up here. Like this. Alright, and of course it's gonna be over at angles just to get this right. Okay, something like that. The thumb, it's just about right. Let's see. Let's just lay these out first. I think I might be going crazy. I've only listened to music like once during this entire thing. Let's just lay these out. I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try get a pose. It's kind of like cradled on top of it. I don't know, just against it. So let's see what we can work with. Okay, that's what we're working with. Sick. So let's try and keep that cradled like that. And then, sorry for bad England. Then, let's see. Mining off camera. Let's actually try and keep this more so in the middle. Then let's bring this guy over here. And then curl this a little bit. Bring this guy over here. And then guess try. Guess we can leave the more open so we can curl this more. And let's make sure that this index is feeling comfortable at home. Right here. Let's make sure. So, like around there. Then get this guy to go right around here. I'm gonna move this guy up here more. Give some more leeway. And let's try and drop it right here. We're gonna crank it back up. Alright, let's got unk stressing. Let's do that. I want to raise the ring a bit more. Curl that. And then just sort of tuck it in like that. Okay. Let's bring that down a bit more. Curl it. Swing it in. You don't want it facing outward like that too much. Let's be careful. And then, okay. Let's bring this forward a bit more. I think this middle finger should be a bit more curled. This should be a bit more open. Should be a bit more curled. This should be curled a lot. Maybe so. Let's actually open this a bit more. Let's put this up. We want to make sure that this pointer finger isn't really at a standstill right here. You know what I mean? We can actually probably move this more forward. So that just gives us more leeway. And we can put this up a bit, curl it. I might just be talking to talk, I don't know. I'm figuring this out as much as you are if you're watching this. Or as you're watching it. So. As you can see, it's still kind of loose, like around there. Just want to grab it. It's the hard part with mags like these. It's you never really know what the best move should be. I'd say it's good for now. For starters, it's a decent block out. Better than what I've gotten for most of the years of doing this. Years as if I've been doing this all my life. It's a good block out. We have an idea of what we want. Now let's just avoid cutting too many corners and fix up what we're doing with our main fingers here. Clipping is fine. Clipping's absolutely fine. Let's pick this guy up a bit. And we're gonna draw him back to open this. Okay. This looks about right, maybe. I'm just gonna keep tweaking the pinky again. Make sure that at least got something. Yeah, this looks pretty good. So, got our base pose here. And I think this should be fine. If you want something like it's touching like right here, it's simple, like the index finger is like resting the tip of its finger right there. It's easy, you just pop the Z back, wind this guy up, run it forward, move the, kind of keep this guy like this, then move it like here. Then open up the index. And you have something like that. Of course, you should be careful about how you play that. You don't want any unnatural bending like that. So my tip is to never really go negative on that value. So, say this is about fine, right? That's what you would do here. That's about it for pistols. So, I don't like that though. I don't like that pose, so I'm just gonna keep it like how it was when we had it. Alright, yeah, that's about the base of it. I think you can always keep tweaking it. Push this guy. Actually, yeah, no, it is fine. It's fine. Boom, like that. If you always can, I think you should try to keep this guy like this. You know, but you always have to find like a middle ground with the y-axis, which is one of the most annoying things to do. So it's always gonna look like that. I keep it open like that. Keep it closed like that. So this looks good. Kind of. It looks okay. It's kind of like our final product here. It's all kind of pressed against the mag. Thumb isn't bending too much, but still kind of pressing against it. Of course, you want to have that dramatic effect. You can always just do, you know. Actually, you know, fuck dramatic effects. It's fine. There you go. That is pretty much it. Those are all the hand poses for tutorials I could think of. That's about it, man. See ya.